Right. Nosy bystanders. Hold on. We got an incredible show tonight. That's a lie. Y'all know I'd be lying. Our show is what it is, honey. Okay. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Okay. It's gonna be what it's gonna be. Okay. I ain't no telling what it's gonna be. It's just gonna be what it's gonna be. Okay. And we'll just have to deal with it as it is. All right. Who we got in the building? Let's see who's in the building today. Who we got in here? Um hold on. What do we got in the building? Y'all know I like to do I like to be polite to y'all and see who in here. Okay, we have April and is it Jamaj? Hello, Jelly. Hello, Queen Bree. Hello, Lee the photographer. Hello, love of his life. Who's the him? And then over here on YouTube, let's see who we have. We have workouts with Jan and Monique, Claudia. What's up, Woo Chow? We have Vicky, Shayla, Chanel, Candy Love, Binky. That's a cute one. And then we have Ash. No, now we're on the Voices app. Okay, so we have Ashley, Amethyst, Phoebe, Victory, Katrina. That's Rich Homie Trina to you. Okay, that's Rich Homie Trina to y'all. I call her Katrina. She's Rich Homie Trina to y'all. We have Queen, Blessed, Loretta, Shauna, Bree, Alex, Ari, Angela, Lioness, Anissa, Sierra, and Bougie. Everybody in the building today. Everybody in the building today. Everybody in the building today. Hold on one second. Who did I miss? Who did I miss? So I thought they got you. Not this week. Now, they didn't get me this week. Hold on one second. Hold on. We do have an interesting show today. We own here. Basically Brooklyn. That's correct. That's correct. That is correct. So we only have one hot topic today, and then we're just gonna get right into all the rest of the tea. So I want to talk about what's this guy's name? It's the news of the week. Ezra Miller. That's what we're gonna be talking about. What's up, Nico? Oh, here we go. Blaine Ashley. At the very bottom, it says multi-guest. Click on that. Do you see it? Hold on one second. Do you see it down there? It says multi-guest or it says guest requests. Click on that. I just got my mom to your page info. She's hooked. Why are you gonna do that to your own mama? Tatum Estates. Why are you gonna do that to your own mama? It's right there below. You see it below? Blaine Ashley, FNP. Okay, I just sent it to you. Let me know when you get it. Hey, pretty girl Danny. Hello, y'all. We have a special guest tonight. You can see I'm not excited. Hello, ma'am. Can you turn your camera on for us?
Oh, how do I do that?
Just ghetto. Turn the camera on.
How?
I don't know how. I don't see it on your end. I just see it on my end. She already got a thorn in my side. You guys follow this trifling nosy bystander below, please.
I don't know how to add my face.
You have to do. Hello. Are you at home?
I am at home.
Let me see the staircase.
Girl.
Can I see it? I don't ask for much.
Well, I gotta. It's kind of messy over here because.
Where's that lamp you got for Christmas? Where's that at?
But
where's the lamp you got for Christmas?
I've been showed you that in my wonderful kitchen area.
Okay, yeah. So we have a live show tonight. I just wanted everybody to follow this content creator down here. She's a nurse. She talks about
A nurse practitioner.
She talks about some stuff about COVID. She talks about ghetto nurses. She talks about how ghetto her field is. She talk about how they the trifling aunties who don't only show up here and or there. So go ahead and follow this nosy bystander below.
I am a nurse practitioner.
Whatever that means.
Put a little bit of respect on my name, just a little bit.
Okay, just a little bit, she said, y'all. Just a little respect on her name. What else you got?
I have a master's degree. It's a little bit of a difference.
Fancy, and no one cares. What else? Quickly before I kick you out.
Why are you kicking me out?
We have a live show today.
I'm being nosy with y'all.
We got a live show coming up. Follow Blaine Ashley FNP, you guys, on TikTok. She'll be back for the nosy roundup at the very end, but go ahead and follow your girl at the bottom. And we're gonna get to our show. Blaine, love seeing you. Take care. Feed the fish and the dogs. Bye. Ignore her, but we love her. Now that's just a nosy bystander of mine, and I wanted to make sure that we showed her some love. It was her first live video, y'all. So let's get back to Ezra Miller. We have no co-host here on the Voices app. So if you want to be a co-host, download the Voices app. The link is in my bio. Download the Voices app, and you can be a co-host any night. We have 3 seats that are always rotating. So make sure you join the Voices app. Okay. So Ezra Miller. If you don't know who the Negro is, he is from the new Flash movie that was supposed to be debuting this year, but it got pushed back to November of 2022. Currently, Ezra is the star of that film, that Flash movie. And I think it's a Marvel or DC film. Correct me if I'm wrong. Well, Ezra's on the run. Apparently, he is being accused of grooming a child and on the run with them. That child's parents have put out an order, custody order, to basically retrieve their child back. And now Ezra's on the run. Hater, we love you. Follow Blaine Ashley FNP right here on TikTok, and we're gonna have her back on our live show. Do Mr. Henderson, the Pastor T, on that one show? I don't know who that is. What in the world? Child, what in the world indeed? What in the world indeed? Now, what kind of ghetto mess is that? There's a lot speculating as to what is going on. Shows a picture of him. Okay, hold on one second. Let me pull it up. Blaine Ashley, if you want to co-host, download the Voices app. It's in my link tree. Download that app and you can join, because I can't have anyone here on this screen, but I can most certainly have you over there on that screen, and it connects all the live videos together, and you can give you a little 2 cents or whatever. Okay, I'm going to show you an image of him. Hold on. I'm going to copy and paste this image into the Voices app so you guys can follow along. Unfortunately, on YouTube, you guys, there's no way to do that. Download the Leam app. My bad. Okay, so let me turn around and show you a picture of this genius over here. Okay, hold on. This is Ezra Miller. Just crazy. Just crazy. So yeah, so the articles that I was reading today, they were discussing how he has known this person who I believe is trans. He's known this individual since they were 12. And this individual is now 18 years old, 17 or 18 years old, and now he's gone. I make green tea, but didn't cool down fast enough. So now they're on the run. They're gone. They have dipped out of the building. And they are gone. Thank you very much, Kendra. Is it Kendra Manuel? Thank you very much. They said, I love your channel, by the way. Thank you. So what now? Now that I have no co-host, I'm going to have to just lead this show on my own. So what now? What do we do now? Now that does DC and the production company, do they cancel the show? Do they Do they not air the Flash movie? I think the movie had already wrapped up in production. It's just not set to release till November of this year. So now what? He was married to his wife and seeing Shaq's ex-wife. I could have co-host. You could co-host on the Leam app. The link is in my bio in my link tree. Blaine, just download it. So I do need a co-host. I ain't got no hands up. So I always need a co-host every single night, at least 3. So yeah. So now what? You got to figure out that technology. Ciao. Just download the app. So that's crazy. We have no concept of what's going to happen, what's going to occur. We don't know what the production company is thinking. They stated that the individual, hey, Missy, they stated that the individual, Ezra, has been taunting the police since he's been on the run and has deleted all of his social media accounts. It's not looking good. The question is, where were the parents at when this child was 17 or 12? Where were the parents at? What's up, Mrs. Chin? That's my question. So y'all just let this complete stranger just run off with your baby? I'm curious. I'm curious. Hello, 6-4. Go ahead and accept the request here on the Leam app, and then and turn your mic on so we can hear you. Hello, 6-4. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. You guys are co-host tonight at 6-4. Hello, Sierra Leone. Did you have any thoughts on this Ezra story, Ezra Miller story?
No thoughts on the Ezra story.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I mean, I wanted to talk about it because I thought it was interesting. I've been seeing a lot of content creators making content about it, and I've also been seeing a lot of them basically doing like a Amber Alert style video about this individual, saying that, hey, be on the lookout. If you might see them. A number of things. I'm gonna actually read you a little bit from the article. It's by Vulture. It's by the New Yorker, who we love. Okay.
So yeah, I don't know about it. I only heard like a few people mentioning it, but I hadn't got the gist of everything. So.
Got you. So don't worry, I'm gonna catch you up to speed. So this, according to the New Yorker, it says Ezra Miller was supposed to be a queer blockbuster star. So again, I had no idea he was queer. Thank you very much, Sierra Leone. And hello, and welcome to the building. So it says he was supposed to be a queer blockbuster star, a flower child eccentric who lived in Vermont and played the Flash, an activist who stood up for gender-based violence in indigenous communities. Instead, in 2020, ushered in a different kind of Ezra Miller, who would be caught on video physically attacking a fan in an Iceland bar and accused of grooming an 18-year-old Sauk native. Crazy. Miller went from indie darling to Harry Potter paychecks to allegedly being on the lam with an 18-year-old and quite a flash. And so here's a timeline so you guys can get an understanding of what went on. So we're going to skip past his life because we don't care about that. Let's get to the missing child part, okay? I don't care how he grew up, okay? You run away with a child, all of that gets skipped. And I want to make a note to the New Yorker. That's pretty gross and disgusting of you to give us this timeline of how he went ahead and kidnapped, okay, allegedly, a child, and you give us 3 pages of his career. What is that about? Right? We do not care. Jamila, we do not care about his career and how his parents has raised him to be a young child actor. We don't care about that. I don't know if the New Yorker is wise on that, but we don't care. He's 22, I believe. So we don't care that he is an actor and he was in Harry Potter. Who gives a shit? You know what we care about? Where this child is. So let's skip past all of that. And so just a shout out to the New Yorker, do better. Because if this was a person an actor who was of color, right? An indigenous actor, a Black actor, Hispanic actor, an Asian actor, you would not be showing his film credits. You would immediately start the entire article with, here's this abuser, and be on the lookout. So miss me with that, okay? Miss me with that. The child, they don't name the child. The child is, only thing we know about the child is that they are a Sioux indigenous person. I think I'm saying that right. Sioux indigenous person, and they're an activist. That's it. So there's no name or image that I have. So it says, since deleted tweets, a disturbing video alleged that Miller choked a woman, threw her to the ground. This is in a separate incident in Iceland. Variety confirmed the altercation took place at a trendy bar in Iceland, and employees identified the accuser as Ezra Miller. So that was the first incident that people kind of thought that there was something amiss about this Ezra character. What's up, Trey? How you doing?
That.
Did you have any
Good.
thoughts before I finish reading the article?
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
are you familiar with the story first?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm very familiar. And I just want to say for respect for I know it's this individual, but they go by they them.
Okay.
So I think pronouns are important for
okay, so
the crowd.
The child goes by they them?
No. Him. I mean Ezra. Ezra goes by they them.
Okay. So we'll just call him Ezra then. Okay. And then
Ezra,
do you have any other thoughts?
I just think it's disgusting. The whole situation, in fact, is disgusting. And the fact that WB is saying nothing, Warner Bros. Is saying nothing about this, like really nothing.
Yeah.
It speaks volumes. But they were so quick to get rid of Ray Fisher, who played Cyborg in the Justice League movie.
Why did they get rid of him?
Basically, he accused, because Joss freaking Whedon. I'm sorry, I can't stand him with the vengeful flames of 1,000 suns. Joss Whedon was reportedly disrespectful to the cast, and he was racist, and so are people in WB. They were extremely racist, and he called them out on it. It's like all over his IG page.
Oh, got you. Okay, so we can get into that story in a little bit later, but okay, so it kind of adds a little bit of context. According to Gab Love, they stated that he separated her from her family Ezra separated, this is a girl. Okay, so it's a girl, because I didn't know who he kidnapped, or I didn't know who they kidnapped, to be honest with you. So they separated her from her family, and she said that her family was toxic. Okay, so that makes sense. Okay, so let me get into the article. So it says that January, they said, in a since deleted video posted on their Instagram account, Miller tells members of the North Carolina chapter Ku Klux Klan, kill yourselves. I don't know why he deleted it. Should have kept that up. Okay. And then it said, he said to off themselves with their own guns. And then, but that's what the tweet said, and they deleted it. I don't know why they would delete it. You didn't really say anything wrong. It says, the Flash enters into the Speed Force, and it says, in the cider cut of the Justice League wins, and Oscar fans' favorite moment, the Flash won an Oscar before something else, right? So apparently he won some sort of award. But let's fast forward to now, because we don't give a shit. And I'm like really upset at this New Yorker article talking about all this stuff he claimed to do. We don't care about that. A child is missing, and this individual has them. Why are you talking about their awards? So let's just fast forward.
Period.
Because we don't care. So it says, Miller appears to have deleted their Instagram, as reported by CBR, after posting memes to their story that they have been alluding to authorities' inability to find them. Ezra states, I am shielding from negative people and their ill intent. My spirit, mind, body, soul, plus success are not altered by anyone's envy, one post read. Ezra also stated, I am protected from all negative NRG people, which I don't know what that means, attempting to throw me at them. Subconsciously and consciously, I clear any and all hidden peers who are hidden enemies. So I guess that's some sort of twisted language. So the Daily Beast published a report speaking with the alleged victim of Miller's 12-year-old non-binary child, who alleges that they were taught by Miller. On Wednesday, June 15th, the child and their mother were granted a temporary harassment prevention order against Miller, claiming that the actor minced the family into the evening of February 2nd at their neighbor's downstairs apartment and acted inappropriately with their child. The case was filed with their local courthouse in Greenfield, Massachusetts. Miller came into contact with the family due to their connection with the family's neighbors, who is in a band with Miller's friend, Whitney Suter. Miller was wearing a bulletproof shield, and I had no idea until later that he was actually armed, the neighbor told the Daily Beast. According to the neighbor, that evening went sideways after the mother of her friend, the mother of her friend called her friends her tribe, causing Miller, whom they believed to be under the influence, to accuse her of cultural appropriation. So this is what Miller is accusing the neighbor of doing, culturally appropriating something. Following this, they said snafu, but following this incident, Miller claimed that the board game Parcheesi had Rastafarian roots, which the half-black neighbor questioned. Ezra snapped after that interaction, the neighbor alleges. Then they opened up their jacket, Ezra did, and they had this big Sherpa jacket on. They opened up the jacket and they saw a gun. So Ezra opened up his jacket and that's where they saw the gun and the bulletproof vest. Ezra was talking like they could actually get into some really serious situation. The neighbor was terrified. After the altercation, Ezra allegedly began to harass the mother and then the 11-year-old child, telling the parents that they were not equipped to mentor this child. I've talked extensively with this child and they have a lot of power to them. I've talked extensively to them, they said. At this point, we're going to realize that you don't have any control over them anymore. Wow. It's so crazy to me that the neighbor was able to remember, like all the neighbors, because it was a big altercation. So people remember this, the detail into it. Like Ezra sounds really unhinged. You probably are intoxicated. You're talking to parents telling them that they're not fully equipped to raise their child, and you have a gun on you. That sounds scary. Like that shit sound, I don't care what no one says, that shit sounds super scary. So I'm going to finish reading the article because I think it's so fascinating. I'm really upset with the New Yorker about this article, not the grave detail that they went into, because again, I want to preface this. The New Yorker did not go into grave detail in this article. The Daily Beast did, because the Daily Beast are actual journalists. What the New Yorker did was they spent about half of this article telling you of all of the awards and the acclaim that Ezra Miller had received. And it took them, I'm at the bottom of this article, it took them to the bottom of this article to actually talk about what everyone is discussing. So it's disgusting and it's poor journalism. New Yorker has been around for well over 150 years, so they can miss me with this shit, okay? That this is just how we build an article. No, it's not. No one cares about if Ezra won an award or if Ezra is in a new, multi-billion-dollar film. We're talking about a child being missing and a lunatic with them. So I'm gonna finish reading it because the New Yorker didn't write this. I just want to preface that. So don't think that the New Yorker did this grave, detailed account of what occurred at the neighbor's house with Ezra and the child and their parents. This comes from the Daily Beast. So shout out to the Daily Beast for actually doing real fucking journalism. Okay. So it stated that Ezra was being elevated. And they would be lucky to have someone like Ezra to guide their child. This is what Ezra is telling the parents, that I'm elevated and you should be lucky to have me to guide your child. Looney Tune. According to the neighbor, the mother and child, the trio claimed that Ezra additionally asked the mother if she would like to drink their blood because she dresses in such a goth style. This is what Ezra is telling this girl's parents. The child accuses Miller of uncomfortably moving their chair closer to them. So this is what the child is telling the mother and the neighbors. Now remember, you're probably wondering, how does the child even know Ezra? The child and their parents live in an apartment upstairs. Ezra is friends with the neighbors downstairs. So like most neighbors do, they just come together, okay? Just be outside like, oh, what's up, dude? How you doing? You know, what's up, girl? How you doing? So that's why. So if you're trying to figure out how does he even know this child? That's how, okay? Child, parents upstairs, Ezra, their friends, neighbors downstairs, they just come together and just interact, okay? So the child accuses Miller of uncomfortably moving their chair closer to them, hugging them, and touching their hips. The child also alleges that Miller asked them to follow them on Instagram and the child that they would purchase horses for them to raise in their Vermont farm. Make sure you smash that like button. Everywhere. Not the Lean app. It doesn't quite matter there, but everywhere else. Okay. Okay. It was really uncomfortable. I was really nervous. I was scared to be around them after they yelled at my mother and she was crying. This is what the child says. The child remembers, according to the report by the Daily Beast, Ezra returned to the home dressed as a cowboy on June 4th to apologize. I'm gonna tell y'all one more time. Y'all keep making these lunatics famous. Y'all keep making these lunatics. Stop letting everybody be famous because they're quirky.
Period.
What in the Clarice going on? This man is crazy.
Stop letting everybody be famous because they're quirky. Some people are just meant to be quirky. That's it. Some people are just meant to be quirky. Some people are not meant to interact with other individuals. This person is unhinged. Ezra is unhinged. Ezra is unhinged. Okay?
And to add another note, he actually broke into somebody's house in Hawaii. And then he also assaulted someone at a karaoke bar in Hawaii.
We're discussing
as well.
Insane. We're discussing Ezra Miller, the star of the new DC Flash film that comes out November 2022. They're actually on the run and being accused of kidnapping a Sioux. I feel like I'm saying that wrong. Like it's like Sioux City, Iowa. So Sioux indigenous child. Just crazy. Just crazy. Okay, we just gonna keep letting crazy people just be famous just because they're, you know, they or he or she, not Ezra, but just any individual under any gender spectrum. We're just gonna instead of vet these fucking people, man. Just vet them. It ain't hard. Just ask them. It's cool. Tiny question. How do you feel about children? Do you despise them? Or do you want to get uncomfortably close to them for no apparent reason? It's the easiest question. Hello,
Unless I
Ashley.
can start on Jared Leto.
Hello, Ashley.
Hi.
Did you have a question?
So I just have a statement.
Yes.
This actually sounds like the episode of Criminal Minds where the guy kidnaps the girl and goes on this like killing rampage of anybody who comes like close to them, just to keep the girl happy with him. It's literally what it sounds like.
Yeah, I've never seen that show, but I believe you. It sounds insane. It sounds insane. We just keep letting these people just fly under the radar, and then they end up being total basket cases. You know? just total basket cases. You know what I mean? Just like, my goodness, I know Hollywood is full of kooks and weirdos, but my goodness, we just letting any and everybody just be fake. Because the problem is, right? It reminds me a lot of that Sienna Miller story. If you don't know who Sienna Miller is, she's a content creator here on TikTok, but she's also an extremely, extremely dangerous predator. There's no allegedly behind that. Okay. She is an extremely, extremely, extremely dangerous predator. What makes her, she's not just dangerous because she's a predator. She's dangerous because she has an immense access to wealth. That's what makes her dangerous. She can seamlessly fly in and out of places, horribly harassing men, okay? So when you let these unhinged people, without vetting them, become extraordinarily famous and extraordinarily wealthy, that's what makes them more dangerous. Because of their access to wealth, they can seamlessly fly in and out of places, doing all kinds of bad things to people. So, yeah, Sienna May. She is a content creator in here. She doesn't make content anymore from her main account after she was accused by 4 individuals of sexual assault. No, she didn't make content no more. TikTok actually doesn't know what to do with her because the allegations are so heinous and violent that you can't really come back from them. You can't. There's no PR team in the world will be ever able to refix her image. She completely destroyed that by being a predator. And her parents should be ashamed of themselves for not getting her the help that she needed. So, yeah. So we're discussing Ezra Miller. They are an actor who is in the new DC Flash film, but we are just referring to just these horrendous predators that are just everywhere, who become really dangerous when they get access to money. Because you can be a predator and poor, and you could prey on people still, right? Access to money doesn't make you not a predator. But once you get access to wealth, a lot of it, fast, oh my goodness. My goodness, you become even more dangerous, right? Because you can seamlessly slide in and out of different situations. Also, let me just do a shout out to our favorite. Thank you very much, CLC. Let me give a shout out to one of our favorite content creators on here. She goes by the name of Texas TikTok Gal Key. Y'all know who she is. Texas TikTok Gal. If you're watching, I saw your last video. Your sister got arrested. Not your sister, honey. Tell her we praying for her and go bond her out. As many times as she's bond you out, child, go get her. Okay. But that was for Texas TikTok Gal. Okay. So did anybody have any final thoughts on this Ezra Miller story before we move on? Comment section, co-host.
They need to be under the foundation of the jail.
Literally. Trey, Ashley, any final thoughts?
I'm ready.
Okay. And Trey? I don't know if we still have Trey on the board.
No, I just said they need to be under the foundation of the jail. That's what I said.
Oh, Sixfo. Any last thoughts for you on the story, Sixfo?
I just think it's crazy. I mean, I'm getting the tea from you. I hadn't heard the gist of it. But man, that is wild. That's why I was like, what in the Clarice is going on?
Yeah, honey, it's ooh, child, the ghetto. Ooh, child, the ghetto. Well, moving on. I wanted to get into more of the I wanted to get into 2 things, but I ain't gonna hold y'all too long, okay? So again, remember, now let's fast forward to the simultaneous cases that y'all just have me working on, because y'all don't let me sleep. God forbid I get to take a break. Okay. I don't even know what vacation looks like. I could only dream of days like that. So let me talk about some of the multiple stories that we're discussing, right? So we're discussing the Carry On, whatever his name is, y'all know Shantae O'Neal's husband, that pasta. Okay, we've been talking about Daryl Patrick, who was the stylist to TD Jakes, and who was subsequently fired. So we're talking about him, and then we're just talking about the TD Jake family as a whole lot of mess, honey. They just a mess. All right, let's just call a spade a spade. They are a mess, and y'all know it. So let me move some of this stuff over here. So I wanted to talk about a tip that came in. Obviously it's anonymous. This individual works at the medical examiner's office, and they actually gave me a tip. So shout out to the nosy bystander at the medical. We appreciate you. Okay. So you guys know that last week I filed for Daryl Patrick's autopsy report because I just had to know. I just wanted to know. But we got a tip, and it's accurate. So we actually have the cause of death of Daryl Patrick. Hello, Jackie. Hello, Tisha. Hello, Tenacious Relatable. Hello, all the people all you other late niggas. Y'all love being late. Existential crisis after you like it? Thank you. Y'all niggas love being late. Talking about, I just got in. You just got in. Show started 41 minutes ago. Yeah, because we nosy don't mean we don't call out you late niggas, okay? I see y'all coming. I see y'all over here too on YouTube. Don't act like I didn't see y'all other 55 people just creep in. Smash the like buttons everywhere. Okay? You late niggas. Just smash the like button everywhere. Don't ask me where. Just smash it. Okay? So we have his cause of death. All right. What's happening? Honey Sherry. What you mean what's happening? Okay. So we have his cause of death. And shout out to Nosy Bystander for telling me. So apparently, Daryl Patrick passed away from cancer. A very specific cancer. I don't want to tell you guys because I don't want people to bastardize it. And I don't want people to think that it's some sort of joke based off of his sexual orientation. Okay? Did you hear me? Everyone. He died of a very specific cancer. Do not bastardize it in the comment sections based off of someone's sexual orientation. It is a real cancer you can get, and it is not based off of sexual orientation or gender identity. Okay? It was anal cancer. And he died in hospice while at a nursing home. Yeah. Yeah.
That's terrible.
Yeah. No, not the colon. Anal cancer is very specific. So yeah, that is terrible. Yeah. So, in my head, I was thinking, okay, maybe he got murdered. We always want something salacious. But no, he died. How does that happen? Again, I'm not an epidemiologist, or I'm sorry, I'm not a, what is it called? An oncologist, a cancer doctor. So I couldn't tell you how you get it. Yeah. So make sure you get your colons checked. I have a colonoscopy coming up soon. But also too, you can just get a colonoscopy. You don't have to get a colonoscopy, but you should just get your stool samples done once a year. That I've already done, but just get it done anyway. Okay. You just never know. So yeah, so that is the cause of his death. Sad and awful. And I don't think it had anything to do with the Potter's house. What about Kevin Samuels? What about him? It's caused by HPV. Is it? What's HPV? Are you old enough for one? You guys, that is okay, let me explain that. That's a very old trope, okay? When you ask your doctor, you're like, hey, I think, I'm 30, I'm 35, I want to get a colonoscopy. And your doctor's like, well, you're not old enough. Do not take that as an answer. Okay? Do not take that as an answer. Don't. Because I believe Virgil, the one who owned the company Off-White, died of colon cancer. Lee Daniels died of didn't Lee Daniels die of colon cancer? Chadwick Boseman, those men were under 40. So when your doctor tells you you're too young to get a colonoscopy, say BS. Get your colonoscopy. Don't let my doctor tried to do it, so I got a new doctor. It was that simple. It was that simple. Just get a new doctor. Lee Daniels is not dead. Who died? John Singleton. John Singleton. My bad. John Singleton. Okay. Yes, you can get colon cancer at any age. It ain't got nothing to do with age. You know how many videos show up on my timeline of these young women with colon cancer? Like 31. Colon cancer. Because the videos kept coming up on my FYP, I just went and asked my doctor for an order. He said, no, you're too young. So I was like, fuck that. So I wrote my doctor a very nice letter and I said, I would like to fire you as my doctor. Sent the letter to my insurance and said, I want a new doctor. It's that simple, y'all. Just get a new doctor. Just get a new doctor. Okay. Just get a new doctor. Okay. Even though I got the order in, I just forgot to go get it. Because you got to have a person pick you up. And y'all, I'm single. I ain't got nobody just to come to the hospital with me. Okay. But I will.
I'd like to add something to your statement about colon cancer.
Yeah.
With many insurance companies, you can also get a free screening included with your insurance every year or every 6 months. So if it's free to you through your insurance, do not let someone deny you something that is free and informational.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, hot tip, if they do, tell them that you want it written down in your record that they are refusing medical treatment that you requested.
Yeah. When my doctor asked me, my second doctor who asked me, well, why do you want a colonoscopy? Aren't you a little young? I said, it's part of my annual. It's free. He's like, okay. He didn't even think twice. He just put the order in. He did not think twice. And let me also
add, too, don't skip out on it if you're able to get it even early, because if it's part of preventative care, they will penalize you for not getting it done.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right. So just it's preventative care. You just want to, I just care about my body. That's why. Am I not allowed to care about my body? Simple enough. I mean, if you get your blood work done every single year, as you should, right? Which I do, even if you don't get, because I got a stool sample last year. Because it's part of my insurance, I can get it. And I just didn't have time to get a colonoscopy, but stool samples check over 96 to 98% of all colon cancers can be checked in your, I know it's such a gross conversation, but it's true, but it can be checked in your stool. So even if you can't get someone to go with you to your colonoscopy, just get your stool sample changed so it can help reduce the stress. Like, oh, what's going on? That also helps too. So if you cannot get someone to take you to get your colonoscopy, at least get your stool samples done yearly. But also too, getting your stool samples done yearly and getting your blood work done yearly will be able to check for a lot of those things. You guys have to understand, when you get your white blood cell checked, as you should, every time you get your blood work done, it will show in high elevated white blood cells, which is usually a strong indication of a virus. So by just getting your blood work done annually, or 6 months, depending on how often your insurance lets you get your blood work done, it can check for those things very early. It's like, okay, your doctor's going to ask, well, why is your white blood cell count high? So you may not have to go to the furthest extreme of a colonoscopy if your doctor's refusing, but at least for the bare minimum, get those basic things done. You can check that. You can check your blood count and your white blood cells and determine why your white blood cell count is so high. Okay. So yes. So that is what Daryl Patrick passed away from. He was in on hospice, and that is what he passed away from. Okay. But 2 days ago, we were actually discussing a lot of the details about surrounding, what's his name? Surrounding Brandon Coleman, his imprisonment, and also speculation as to why um, right? So remember, we have to say this first because it's very important that I say it first. When it comes to anybody being accused of any crimes ever, right? I just want to make sure we make this abundantly clear before I move forward. Anytime we discuss any single person who is being accused of a crime and the victim is still alive to accuse them, we believe the victims first. Once we get the account of what the victim is stating, that's when we investigate. Okay, that's what the Me Too movement taught us. And that's what we do here at the Nosy Bystanders. We believe the victims first, and then we investigate to determine the validity of their claims. Hello, Dr. Diaz. Okay, so when it comes to Brandon Coleman's charges against child sexual assault, we believe the victim. Okay, this is not up for question. We do not doubt victims. Okay. The next thing we do is investigate those claims and what those claims will bring about. Okay, I just want to make sure we make that abundantly clear. So I don't want people to sit here and be like, "So you don't believe the victim? You don't think these allegations are true?" That's not up for question. Okay, we believe the victim and we investigate the claims. All right. So 2 days ago, because I didn't go live yesterday, 2 days ago, we discussed those claims made by a specific source, okay, surrounding Brandon Coleman's incarceration. The first claim that the source told us was that there was no Child Protective Order case. Child Protective Services actually reached out, according to the source, Child Protective Services actually reached out to the Ellis County Sheriff's Department. And Ellis County, according to the source, Ellis County Sheriff's Department is refusing to work with CPS on this case, which you would find unusual. Okay. The second claim, these are all alleged. The second claim, allegedly, is that there were 3 individuals who were asked by Cora Jakes to take a lie detector test. Because allegedly, according to Cora Jakes, she had a premonition that her child was being sexually assaulted. The claim, according to Cora Jakes, did not come from her child, came from a premonition. Okay. And because of that premonition, allegedly, according to Cora Jakes, she asked 3 individuals to take a lie detector test. According to the source, Cora Jakes did not go to the police. She asked these 3 individuals herself to take a lie detector test. One of the individuals refused. One of them obliged and passed. The other individual fought but took the test and it came back inconclusive. Want to figure out which individual's test is inconclusive and who's in jail? Yeah, Brandon. So this question is from Tenacious Relatable Mimi. And the question is she fixing to divorce him? And let's talk about Cora's divorce. Okay. So according to this source, allegedly, Cora and Brandon were fighting voraciously last year. According to this source, Brandon, which I haven't discussed with you yet, but according to this private unnamed source, obviously I'm not going to tell you who it is, but according to this private no-name source, allegedly, Brandon asked Cora for a divorce and stated, and I quote, "You need to give Michelle her baby back." When I heard that statement being made, and then I went back and looked at all the interviews that I had did on this story, the reason why I believed that claim, and I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to tell you why I believe that claim. Because out of the maybe 30 odd interviews that I did for this 12-part series, every single individual who knew Brandon or who was close to Brandon, a lot of them knew each other. A lot of them actually don't know each other. All of them stated this. It's not that Brandon doesn't like kids. He just doesn't seem like he wanted kids. And I got that statement from at least 30 separate individuals in this story prior to me hearing that statement that he had made. Prior to me hearing that statement, allegedly from this source that I spoke to, that he had made that statement to Cora, allegedly, that the marriage was over and that she needs to give Michelle her baby back. When I heard that, I said, that matches up to everything everyone else said. That it's not that he didn't like kids. He just didn't really want any himself. So it would make sense, right? If he was going to divorce a woman with 2 kids, well, give the baby back. And now maybe I only got to pay child support for 1. Right? Sounds like a person who just really don't want to have to deal with kids. According to this private source that I spoke to, allegedly, this is in reference to the question, is Cora fixing to divorce him? Cora is allegedly already legally divorced from Brandon. She was legally divorced from him in December of last year. Legally divorced from him. Thank you, Go Getta. Smash these like buttons everywhere. I'm getting nervous. So, according to the source, she's already legally divorced from him. So if I had to speculate, right? If I just had to speculate, this is just my wild speculation, right? If she was already legally divorced from him, remember, she put the statement out in January that they were separating, but she was already legally divorced according to the source, allegedly, right? If Brandon were to contest that divorce decree, right? Maybe this could be a way to get him out of the way. And we know that it has occurred before because I talked to Sarah's ex-husband. It sounded exactly like a playbook from Sarah Jake's playbook. It sounded exactly like the same play from Sarah Jake's playbook. Divorce them before they know. And if they don't have enough money, well, they don't have to contest the divorce decree. There's nothing to contest. You're poor. Except at the time, Robert Henson could contest it because he was in the NFL and he had a pretty penny, nice little nest egg tucked under him. He could contest the divorce according to Robert Henson. Sarah Jakes forged his signature on his divorce decree. That's what made him fight for it. That's why he paid hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to have a handwriting expert at his divorce, because he said vehemently, I didn't sign that. So I have to contest it. Oh, was that a clam? Was that a scallop shell? So pretty. So it just seems like when I hear these things, I'm like, sounds like a play out of Sarah Jake's playbook, allegedly. So if you ask me, right? If you ask me, although we always believe the victim, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about that. If a person makes a claim about any accusations of the sexual nature, we're always going to believe the victim. 10 out of 10. Highly recommend listening to what the Me Too movement was trying to tell us. But it does not mean that we don't investigate. We always investigate. And when stuff starts to come up that is mysterious, well, you know what I mean? Well, we got to look into it. We have to look into it. It's just what's required. Who is this? What is this? Okay. Yes. So we just have to look into it. co-host, do you have anything to say before I get to some of these questions in the comment sections?
So I want to play a little devil advocate. So you don't believe that he had nothing to do with it, and maybe that was just a way for him to get out of it as well, instead of both of them taking the blame for it?
Can you be a little specific? You got to be a little more specific. You got to be very specific with that kind of question.
Okay, so from what I was understanding, you said she filed for divorce in December. Is he locked up?
Yes.
Okay. And if he was locked up, that means, like you were saying, he couldn't contest anything, like he couldn't opt out of it. But if he was one of the ones that with her, he knew what she was doing and what was going on, but that would kind of take some of the blame off of him, because now he's incarcerated and he can't go against anything.
You mean he chose to be incarcerated?
No, I'm not saying he chose to, but I was just saying that could have been a leeway for him to not having any blame with having something to do with Cora taking Michelle's baby.
You mean I'm not trying to sound harsh with my line of questioning, but what do you mean when you say that could be a leeway for him? You mean he chose to be incarcerated so he could not have to worry about the backlash?
I'm not saying he chose to be incarcerated, but wouldn't that be a good way to take all of the pressure off of him being, them two together, working this out to try to take Michelle's baby? So do you entirely believe that he doesn't have anything to do with it? It's just like 100% just Cora, right?
No, I believe no, this is what I believe. I believe that birds of a feather, right? You come from a historically poor family, you get married into this very large, very wealthy, very powerful family. Your wife, the matriarch, is really making all the shots and calling all the decisions. Based off of the 30 interviews I did, it didn't seem like he wanted children. And when they attempted to try for children, right, according to the source I spoke with, she had 2 rounds of in vitro fertilization and they failed. So maybe because of Cora's insatiable appetite to want to be a mother, he just kind of went along with it because it's his wife and at the time he loves her, right? So whatever harebrained scheme she was coming up with to get children, they did. Remember, according to 2 separate sources I spoke to, Cora did have an alleged stint at a mental health facility. So it caused them to not be able to go through the traditional route of adoption. And so Cora and him, right, created some other scheme to be able to get children. And so these are the schemes. This is the route that they took. I don't think that he would purposely put himself in jail to avoid,
No, and that's not what I was saying, that he was trying to purposely put himself behind bars in order. But I just, I know that we I'll say allegedly or whatever, but we know we have more speculation on her doing the evil deeds of trying to take Michelle's baby, but he was married to her as well, and both of them in it together,
Yeah.
But while he's locked up, nobody's really talking about him per se. It's more her, but he was in on it too.
Yes, he was. No, there's no doubt in my mind that he's in on it. But when we look at cases like this, right? When we look at cases like this, we have to look at the last man standing. And everyone else becomes a simple casualty. So even if you were in on the scheme in the beginning, right? This could be Brandon's just desserts, right? Sticking around for all this BS for all these years. Remember, he was with the woman for about 12 years. So sticking around for all of her harebrained schemes and shenanigans to allegedly steal children. Maybe this is the way the universe is rewarding him. Hey, you should have got out a lot earlier. Now that you're culpable in this, and now that you want out, she's not going to let you out. You think did you really think that you were going to be able to just leave this family and tap dance your way out of it? No, you're not going to be able to leave and just tap dance out of the scenario. And I think allegedly, if he did make that statement to her that, hey, you need to give this girl her baby back. Because I feel like, one, it sounds like a man who just didn't want to have to pay child support for 2 kids, to be 100% frank with you. And 2, he was just like, I'm done with this shit. I think that was enough to set her off. Like, okay, so I see what he gonna do. He gonna get out and he gonna sing like a canary.
Okay.
So the best way to shut him up is to get him out of the way. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So I look at it like this.
Uh-huh.
If they were going to rob a bank, right?
Mhm.
And he decided, okay, I don't want any money, I want no part of it, right?
Mhm.
Then now he's useful damage, right?
Yeah.
You may discard him however you choose because you're trying to keep his mouth and his eyes from seeing and saying what he knows and what he sees.
Mhm.
So he's just collateral damage and the wave of whatever the Jakes family is. If you want to leave, I will bury you.
Yeah.
And there you go.
Yeah.
That's how you leave damaged.
Yeah. No, I totally agree, Ashley. I do. I totally agree. Vicky, sister girl Jess, how y'all doing?
Hey, love.
Hello. Vicky, if you could just turn your microphone on so we can hear you. We might have lost Vicky. Did you want to add something in on this, sister girl Jess, before we continue?
Yeah, I think it's what you said. Money rules the world.
Mm-hmm.
He was poor. He got in it. He thought he's gonna come up, and he went along with whatever she was doing for the come up. And then when he realized it's getting sticky in here, she trying to get all these kids, and then he became the scapegoat.
Yep.
He became the scapegoat. He tried to put himself in jail. No, he was like. He was trying to get out, and they said, hold up.
Oh, you
Right.
Hold up.
That's right. That's right. That's right. That's how it be. Vicky, did you want to chime in?
Hey, girl, I love you. Okay, this is everything every night for me. So.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Correct, Coleman. It's a mess. Brandon, if he would have tried to get out earlier, he would have been in jail earlier, okay? Because there is a set of rules when you're in that Coleman household, the Jake's household, and you go by the rules, okay? We've seen that, okay? So he may not have even wanted to go with his adoption. He may have seen how the deportation and all the other stuff allegedly happened, and he might not have been with it. But could he go against it? No, I don't think he had those kind of options when it came to that family.
Yes.
So now that he's out, he basically probably said, listen, it will be told. He was getting ready to spill the beans and tell everything and take that family down. They said, oh, yeah, okay, watch this.
Yeah, that's right.
They basically probably said, because we're in the history of ever being put in jail. Has someone been put in jail under the allegations of a prophecy? A prophetic dream.
Yeah.
You know how many of my exes would be in jail?
Right.
I mean, I would have had prophecies on all of them. I mean, like, how does that even, how is that even a thing? That's because there's money washing hands in the back.
Yeah.
Well, how is that man even in jail?
That's why you invest. And listen, the great take on that, Vicky. That's exactly why you investigate. You believe the victim. The Me Too movement taught us a lot. It taught us to believe the victim first and then investigate, right? All claims. And so I totally agree with you. But unfortunately, we got a commercial break. So let me get to that, okay? This won't be long, okay? So this is our first commercial break, and it's brought to you by your nosy bystanders and Kiana Scott. So Kiana Scott is actually a content creator here on TikTok. Her name's Kiana Scott 1, and she actually has her own shop. So kianascott.com is where you can find satin handmade reversible bonnets. They come in 5 colors: purple, gold, orange, and cream, pink, hot pink, light pink, mustard yellow, and olive green, which I really like, and green and blue. If you're making a purchase $50 or more, consider using Shop Pay for 4 interest or 0 interest payments. Okay, so 4 free 0 interest payments. And I want to thank you again to Kiana Scott for being our first sponsored content creator and shop here on the Nosy Bystanders. So thank you. So before we move on, let me just shout out to all you Nosy Bystanders for listening to us talk our shit every night, week after week. I appreciate it. Okay. I appreciate all the gifts and love that you give. Shan Will here on YouTube. Thank you for the super chat. And thank you, ladies, here for all of the gifts that you guys give. Thank you. It really does help boost the show and keep it a fine oiled machine. Okay. It keeps the phone and the lights on. So I thank you. So let me see.
Wait a minute, that girl said get a clean bonnet. Shut up.
I don't wear a bonnet.
I don't either, but she know because sometimes they be smelling like old pillowcases.
These are handmade though. These are handmade.
I know, but
satin.
I'm saying somebody said in the comments get a clean bonnet. Because some folks be overworking these bonnets, so they need to get one of them Kiana Scott bonnets.
Get you a Kiana Scott bonnet, honey. Because I know y'all wear bonnets. I don't.
And can I just say, in no way am I saying that Brandon didn't have that something happened in the house. There's no way, but I'm saying that it does make sense that somebody in the comments stated that it does make a lot of sense what's going on here, because the trajectory of this doesn't make sense. How this is happening. Something in the milk is not clean here. So if he does get to talk, which please, Lord, let somebody be able to do an interview with him and let him speak, because no other husband previously has been able to speak.
Yeah, actually,
they basically shut them down. Yeah.
No, I actually, and thank you for that. I actually had an interview with Robert Henson. It was Sarah Jake's first husband. So he did speak up because he don't actually give a fuck, honey. So I appreciate Robert. His daughter is a mutual of mine here on TikTok as well as himself. And so I appreciate him for even letting me share his story. No, they could not get him because of his proximity to wealth. So he was able to fight longer. That's the main reason why. And thank you, Nosy or Inquisitive, for the super chat. I appreciate that. Thank you. So no, you're absolutely right. That's why we investigate, right? We investigate because what the fuck is really going on, right? For lack of better words, what is going on? We don't know what's going on. That's why we have to investigate. I want to get to some of your comments here in the section. Someone said the Potter's house just came on my phone. Oh, fancy. This is from Jordan Palmer. Says it's so much deeper than this. I promise I have insider info. My cousin works at the church. Not a nosy. Hold on, y'all. Jordy Palmer. If you see this, can you just reach out to me on Twitter or Instagram? Hold on, y'all. I got a nosy bystander on the line. Hello, nosy bystander.
I'm mad we got a nosy bystander on the phone.
Okay.
You know we gonna want to know everything they say after you get off. You can't be just sitting there smiling and carrying on.
That was this Sunday?
Funny.
We're gonna need you to get a speakerphone, okay? Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie, I love it when she take the call on live.
Okay.
I'm like, girl, get a speakerphone so I can hear what the heck they say.
I just would also like to say we don't want a woman though our loose conference this year. That's all.
Yeah, we definitely don't want that.
You know they have one. They're having one.
Yeah, I would like to get it shut down.
Oh, that's it, girl. You starting the petition. You gonna rally that call?
No, because I'll go missing. So I'm gonna let somebody else do it.
Girl, nobody gonna do that. That's too much money.
Mm-hmm.
When they supposed to have this conference?
So,
Whoever's supposed to be speaking at it.
So you're saying that this Sunday I'm sorry, you said this Sunday they had a meeting with the pastors?
They had a meeting about you, Stephanie. That's what he gonna tell you. Yeah.
They get ready to ship out of town.
I'm gonna tell you how the meeting went. It's a girl on the TikTok telling all our business on the TikTok.
You done made her leave out the camera. Now we can't.
She has a
Okay.
landline. Boom.
Oh, y'all hear that? It sounds like it's getting heated on the phone. They really telling their story. You got to come back to the frame.
This is so funny.
Come closer to the computer. Come closer to the computer. Come closer. So we can hear. Because they call because they want us to know. Is it a male or a female on the phone? It sounds like a male.
It's a man.
It is. He telling all the business.
It was
Wait a minute. He on security detail.
Look, don't confuse the look.
He knows
She's
what he
confused.
talking about.
Got you.
Y'all. And we need to get one of them.
Torre.
We need to get one of those voice distorters.
We want Brandon's JPay information.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to
y'all listen. We need to donate so we can get her
Sketchy.
a voice distorter, so the people can come on and say what they want to say, but we won't know what their voice sound like.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, disguise the voice.
I'm gonna say, y'all sign it. If I do the petition, let's go.
Oh, so so she's not gonna be at Woman Thou Art Loose?
Shut up.
Hallelujah. Won't he do
No,
it?
you know what folks gonna be mad. Oh, can you imagine spending that money on that ticket in the plane?
I don't do it. She needs to go somewhere and have a seat, a whole row of seats.
But I'm gonna need my
Okay.
money back.
I'm gonna give you a call back so I can start taking some notes because we live and they want to know what you're talking about. So obviously I'm gonna keep this under the condition of anonymity, but I'm gonna give you a call back after the live show. But let me share some of what you told me to them. Thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, bye-bye.
I'm sorry, y'all. We was loud. We're sorry.
Okay.
Y'all loud and ghetto.
I'm sorry, they told me
We are ghetto.
I'm the wrong kind of nosy.
Look at, I got
Yes, I have a landline. Okay, don't hate on me. And no, it doesn't have speakerphone.
She had to for her cable package.
This is the Nosy Bystanders tip line. The phone number is in my link tree. Yes, I answer it. I got no assistants, okay? There's no one here to answer this goddamn phone. So it's just me, okay? So let me tell you what this nosy bystander called in and told me, honey. Okay? So they stated that, which is now this is the second tip I heard. They stated that right now, this nosy bystander, but I actually had a nosy bystander call me in this morning and told me the same thing. They stated that in the Sunday sermon, TD Jakes not allegedly, because it's from two people, okay? Argue with that with your mama, TD Jakes, okay? But apparently he had all of the pastors go to, or have a meeting with all the pastors and bishops to get them to sign new non-disclosure agreements. That's the second call I got today that happened. And
so it happened
because the problem is that Mr. Jakes, if you're watching, I'm already talking to some of your pastors. So fuck your NDA. Okay, they got my phone number and my cell phone. All right, so they're gonna talk regardless. So you can take the NDA and you can shove it where the sun don't shine. Okay, give a fuck about your NDA. They gonna talk to me any goddamn way. One of the pastors actually called me this morning and asked me, was nervous, but stated that, you know, how secure is their conversation? I said, very secure. No one knows I'm talking to you. So don't you worry. Okay. So you can miss me with that shit. Bishop, Dexter, whatever your name is.
Right.
And give me back my tithes. Because I done sent you about 2 racks over 10 years.
They said bars.
So that's the second call I got. That's the second call that I got. Also, this anonymous tipster stated that TD Jakes is not letting Cora do any sermons. Which I can't imagine. He shouldn't.
We the people of America, thank you. Sit down.
Because I eat her alive. Getting on that stage talking about glory be to God. Girl, sit your ass down.
Heal. My goodness.
Also, it's a good chance that she might not be doing her sermon at Women Thou Art Loose. Well, if we stay on her neck long enough, maybe she won't. Maybe she'll be able to give these people their children back, allegedly. Okay.
All right. We like that.
Now, anytime that you guys donate, all of this money goes straight to a fund to hire an assistant to answer this phone, so I don't have to. Okay.
Can we put a voice distorter on the list too?
I know. I need a real. I need a. You guys, this is all I could find at Target. Okay. So miss me with that.
Hey, look, it gets the job done.
Okay. y'all call in. So if you want this number, it is a landline. Please don't text it. I know people probably have tried to. Don't text it. Just call. Okay. Your information stays private. No one has access to it. And you can leave a nosy tip. I usually go to bed with this. So if you ever call and I answer and I sound like, hello, that's me. Okay. So that's the tip line. You can also reach us on Nosy Bystanders on Instagram and Twitter. Okay, the DMs are open, so you can leave a tip there. Leave it from a burner account. We don't care. So long as your information can be corroborated. Okay, that's all I ask. Leave me a tip that I can actually use. Okay, or just say hello. It's too easy. Follow us on YouTube and the Leam app, formerly known as Voices. Nosy Bystanders. Y'all want to chime in? You like the hoodie? I'm working on getting everyone a hoodie.
Anybody who goes out of their way to reaffirm how they want business to be conducted, that means you're close to figuring out what is actually going on.
I'm sorry, Ashley. Can you say that one more time? Because I don't know if I caught that.
When any person has to refresh or reaffirm an NDA to clarify that you will not speak, because normally people do not take those.
Exactly.
Say the same. So that means you're getting really close to what's going on and you're talking to the right people. That's why that is occurring.
Yeah, no, I totally agree with you. I do. The only reason why they're getting them to sign brand new NDAs is because they know they're squealing like a pig. Well, here's my thing, Pastor. What do you need NDAs at a church for?
They need it just because the same way that Warren Jeffs needed one, so people won't talk, so they shut up, so they don't go to prison, so they don't go to jail. That's why.
Yeah. No, you're right. You're right.
People feel intimidated, so they don't speak. It's giving cults.
So I got a comment right here from Calmness on YouTube, and they said that Coral was allowed to pray at the beginning of the Sunday before last service. Yeah, but apparently she used to be able to do a sermon, but she hasn't been able to do a sermon, like a full sermon, not a prayer, a sermon.
Wasn't she just doing mentorship classes? Like she was just doing mentoring.
I don't know. I don't actually follow with the church, so you would have to check that and let us know.
Yeah, on Instagram, I know she does that. Like, she does some kind of mentorship, and recently she was still doing it, and people got the knowledge of what happened.
Okay.
And they were like, "What?"
Okay, so let me give you guys a recap before anybody else chimes in. So we were discussing at the beginning of the show, we were talking about Ezra Miller. Ezra Miller is an actor in Hollywood who is currently on the run with a minor, and the police are looking for them because they do have an active police protective order against them that the parents have filed. So we were discussing that. We were discussing how the New Yorker basically scrambled that entire article and sent us a laundry list of all of Ezra Miller's acclaimed awards instead of telling us exactly how they went about taking a child. Ezra Miller goes by they, them pronouns. So fuck the New Yorker. Now we got into we were just highlighting a bit of the show to discuss what we talked about 2 days ago, because we missed last night's show. We were talking about the sources who had called in the other night and gave me all of these tips. This private, obviously anonymous source who I believe, because I've been able to corroborate a lot of what they've stated. According to the source, the first thing that they stated was that Cora and Brandon Jakes have been divorced since December of 2021, but it was announced in January. The second thing that the caller stated was that according to their source, who is very, very much credible, a very credible source, that Brandon actually saw baby Jason the day he was arrested. He spent the day with baby Jason, and then that later that evening, on the evening of May 5th / morning of May 5th, he was arrested. And so we talked about in our last show, that seems unusual. If a parent was able to be accused of a heinous violent crime against a child, why would the parent still allow them to have access to the other one? The third claim that we had discussed was, I just forgot it. What else did we discuss? The third claim that we had talked about is allegedly TD Jakes is requiring the pastors and bishops to sign brand new non-disclosure agreements, which he asked them to do on Sunday. Too late, Pastor. We didn't got all the tea. Okay. And then the final claim that, according to the source, is that Brandon claimed that, according to this private source, Brandon stated to Cora in the midst of their fight, which is why they broke up in July of 2021, and subsequently caused them to both move to separate residencies, is, according to the source, allegedly, Brandon told Cora that he was done with the marriage and that Cora should consider giving Jason back to Michelle. And the source believes this is the catalyst as to why all of this is even occurring. So I hope you like that recap, because, honey, my memory ain't what it used to be. At least that's what Aunt Brenda would have said. Brenda, I talked to Brenda today. I don't know where she at. She act like she too good to come and be our co-host.
So I have a question.
And can you just speak up a little bit, Ashley, when you ask? I can hear you, but they may not be able to hear you on TikTok or YouTube.
I'm sorry, I'm usually not loud.
It's okay.
So was her dream one of which was of mistreatment of children, of wonderful children, or was it a dream in which her husband gave baby Jason back to his mother? Because nothing will get you arrested faster than mistreating a child, especially SA or whatever, right? But what if her dream?
Hold on one second, you guys. I want to hear, because Ashley has an accent, so it might be a little difficult to hear her.
Sorry.
It's okay.
But what if the dream itself was her husband giving her son back to his mother and not for the item which he was charged for?
Okay, so one, we will, which is a great synopsis, Ashley, but we would never be able to determine what that woman dreamt. We don't even know if she even dreams, right? So we wouldn't even know that to even, to even speculate that, right? So we have no account of whether her dream was really her losing her children, and that's why she set up this scheme to have her husband put in jail, or if her dream really was prophetic and she actually believed that someone was touching her child. We don't know. I don't even found it, right? Yeah, exactly. So there are completely unfounded claims, and I would not.
Why was he arrested based on what though? Like, what was the evidence, or somebody collaborated? Why was he arrested?
Well, without a trial, without it going to trial, you don't know what evidence they have yet.
Right. So we don't know. We don't actually know what. We don't know. These are the claims that are being made from this anonymous source who called me 2 days ago. So let me explain to you what they stated. Okay.
Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
And being people of color, I just want everybody, Ashley, I want you to understand, being people of color, they don't have to have any proof for any reason. They lock Black people up every day for nothing, for looking wrong, for crossing the street.
Yeah.
So you have to take that into account.
Yeah, so to them, right, to the police, this could have been enough of a claim to put him in jail. So let's just go with that, okay? So we don't exactly know why, but according to this anonymous source, allegedly Cora Jakes asked 3 individuals to take a lie detector test because of a prophetic dream that she had that somebody was sexually assaulting her child, allegedly. According to the source, 2 people took the lie detector test. One said absolutely not and just said no because they thought it was cockamamie, which I couldn't agree more. If somebody came to me and said I had a prophetic dream that you robbed a bank, we'd take a lie detector test. I would tell them to go eat shit. And as that first person should have did, and so be it, they did. The second person said, okay, this sounds crazy, but I'm gonna go ahead and take it, and pass the lie detector test. The third person said, this is crazy, but I'll take it. Their test came back inconclusive. Now, remember, lie detector tests are not admissible in court. So even if people were to submit to lie detector tests, it actually doesn't do much by way of the legal system. You can't even submit that evidence into court. Brandon happened to be the third person who was sequestered for this test, and it came back inconclusive. There could be a number of reasons why lie detector tests could come back inconclusive. Stress, and being intoxicated, whatever, right? I'm not trying to make an excuse for him. I'm just saying there are a number of reasons. Again, it's not admissible in court. According to this source, the police had the right to hold him in jail for 72 hours, but he has now been in jail for 42 days without an attorney and without an actual arraignment. So he's not been arraigned. So we don't know what we don't know. We just know that seems a bit innocuous, right? It just seems a bit innocuous to me, right? That's what causes me to want to investigate it, which is what I'm doing, right? I'm just by myself, but I'm with the nosy bystanders, and you guys send me those tips in all the time, so it does help. Peanut gallery. Did you want to jump in? Peanut gallery. Co-host.
Incoming peanut. Mm-hmm. Incoming peanut. And then you guys have to realize also money talks. Mm-hmm. I don't care who you are. I don't care what color you are. Money talks. And when you have another Black person going against another Black person, money talk even better. They like, oh, we get 2 for 1. I'm gonna get your money, and I'm supposed to put this man away. So you have to you can't look through what's right's eyes. You have to look it through how society thinks.
Yeah, you're right. And also too, the reason. Hold on one second. Someone said that you guys at any time, because I can't follow back that many people. I've already reached my maximum of people I can follow where you can DM me directly here. If you have any tips, we have the Nosy Bystanders tip line. The phone number is in my link tree. Just head to the link tree. You can call it anytime. I'm the only one who answers this. You don't have to worry about some strange person trying to answer the phone. The second way you can leave us a tip is at Nosy Bystanders, spelled just like this, on Instagram and Twitter. The DMs are open. So if you ever have a tip, you don't have to just come into the chat because I may miss it. Just leave the tip there. Okay. And again, I'm the only person who answers those messages. So you don't have to worry about it. It won't get unread. But yeah, no, Sister Girl, just you're 100% correct.
Shauna has her hand up, and she made a great statement in the comments too. But
hello, Shauna. I went ahead and send you a request. Go ahead and accept it so you can jump on stage, and then make sure you turn your microphone off, okay? So we can hear you. Shauna. But I want to get to your statement, Sister Girl, because it was, you're right. Think about this for a second, you guys. If you are not financially inept and you're married to someone who is, and that person may control all the finances, once you separate from that person, you may not have access to that wealth anymore. So you could end up on the other side of the legal system with no money. Do you understand what I mean? The main reason as to why I wanted to investigate this case is because when I found out Brandon was in jail and I saw that his Twitter was deactivated, I knew something was amiss. Something was amiss because a person sitting in county jail, I say this again, I'm going to say it till the last minute the show airs. You are not thinking about Twitter. while you are sitting in county jail. You're not. I know you're not. I've never been into a county jail, but I could promise you the last fucking thing you're thinking about is deactivating your Twitter. The last thing.
Now
So
my question is,
hold on one second. But the thing about it is that when you see that this person's social media accounts have been deleted, that is a cause for concern because it looks like someone is hiding something. What are they hiding? I don't fucking know, but it's worth investigating. Hello, Bianca. I'm sorry. Was that Shauna?
Shauna.
Hello, Shauna.
No, thank you. So, not for nothing, but if I were him, I'd be singing my ass off. He could be like, and on Tuesday, the 18th of February, she was picking her ass. And on the 17th of whatever date, he knows so much information from the beginning. Why isn't he talking out more?
Because here's the thing. Because you, listen, if you were in jail, Shauna, on an incredibly heinous crime, right? And you didn't have access to a court hearing, your arraignment, or an attorney, and you know at least, right, the smallest fragment that you were supposed to be there no more than 3 days, and you've been there for 42, you're probably going to start worrying about your own health and well-being, which is likely.
And
you
also,
know what I mean?
Yeah. And also, how do you get it? You said that they didn't want the police to get involved in the beginning, but they had a lie detector. How do you get a lie detector done without the police being involved?
No, they didn't want, according to the source, allegedly, Child Protective Services was not involved. The police are involved. So, according to the source, allegedly, Cora asked these 3 individuals to take a lie detector test at the police station. And that's how she was able to get those results. And then, for whatever reason, they decided to arrest him. But we don't know because we don't have all the details. We just have to look at the things we do have and then investigate the anomalies in those, right? We have to look at the last date that Brandon was free. If a parent is, even if it was a prophetic dream and they stated, I believe wholeheartedly that this dream is true and that my ex-spouse was doing these things to my child. And the last thing you would do is give that predator access to the other child. You understand what I mean? It just doesn't make sense. Also, too, I had a lot of social workers reach out to me after hearing the story, and they're just like, look, as a social worker, I'm gonna tell you right now, if a parent called us and made a claim that they think that their partner was touching their kids, they stated we remove the kids into a safe place until we can investigate it. So I've had probably well over 10 to 15 different social workers from different counties all over the Texas land, Dallas, Harris County area reach out to me and say, we would have removed the kids. How does Cora still have access to the kids? I said, I don't know. And so that's what made a lot of other individuals start to come forward, because that's when people are like, something about this case isn't right. Then, according to Tanek Reviews, he is a content creator on YouTube. His name is spelled TANIQUE Reviews. According to him, not me, allegedly he spoke with Dallas County Child Protective Services, and he quotes, they don't have a case open, and when they've reached out to Ellis County sheriffs to start the investigation, right, sequestered them for that material so they can begin the investigation, they stated, according to Tanake Reviews, according to him, that the Ellis County Sheriff's Department was refusing to work with them. So I don't know. Do you understand what I mean? Now, according to him, if I'm going to believe that, I would have to do my own digging. I don't know how many social workers would say that on the record, but to me, it sounds like somebody was working behind the scenes and feeding Tanake that information, which I wholeheartedly believe. And I believe them, I believe them. I believe the social workers who reached out to me and said, no, we would remove the kids. It didn't matter how much. You could be a billionaire. It doesn't matter. If there was a claim of sexual assault, all the kids come out the home. I don't care if the one parent is making the accusation. I don't care. All the kids get out the home for at least 30 days, and then we investigate. And then we take that investigation. And if we find it to be heinous enough, then we submit that to the sheriff's office. They get the warrant, XYZ. So when I had social workers reach out to me like something is not right about this case, I'm like, thank you very much, go getter. Thank you very much. Is it OB dance? Oboe dance? Oboe dance? Thank you very much. So yes, so I couldn't agree with you more, Shauna.
This whole thing's a mess. This is just all a mess. This is crazy. These kids are going to be so messed up in life when they hit puberty and see these stories about them on the internet. They are going to be messed up for forever.
Have you guys watched the next Netflix documentary, Keep Sweet?
No.
It's about the Warren Jeff cult with the underage kids and all that stuff. But this is this is like a twist to that almost. You know, how the church covers up stuff and how everything is micromanaged, how the law enforcement tries to help cover up stuff too within the church. Money talks.
Yeah, you're right.
And those kids, like that was years ago, and those kids are just they're speaking now, and it's just what you said. Those kids are messed up.
Yeah. No, you're right. I'm going to read some of the comments really quickly. Someone said, see, this is why I'm fighting for my grandchild. Absolutely. Because you have to. Basically, Brooklyn said, oh, thanks. I was confused for a moment. I was like, not another one. This comment is from Delightful Deli B on YouTube. She says, so what is this public defender doing? He didn't have one. Unfortunately, he ain't got one. Let me get to some of the comments here on the Leam app. Someone said, Eamon, oh, hello. What's up, Eamon? Where you been? You said you should be over to look and see the polygraph examiner is if they have one in their county. Sometimes they pay for one outside the county, but that's great. I should look into that. This is from Bougie. She says, if you know your accuser is part of the mob, you're going to mess up your lie detector test too. Was that good? Which I could not agree with more. If your partner is in the mob and you got to go take a lie detector test, hell yeah, your shit go come up inconclusive. You nervous. I'm nervous too. But again, we believe the victims in the case and we investigate everything after the fact, right? But absolutely, totally agree with you with that, Bougie. What's up, Motherhood? Totally agree with you on that. This shit is wild. Now, I done kept y'all really long, and I hate to keep y'all so long. I hate to cut it short.
I have a question.
Yes.
When you're interviewing your tip line, especially when it comes to the NDAs, I actually wonder when he started doing NDAs, because normally a church doesn't do that.
It depends on how big they get, though. It could depend on how big the church gets, and sometimes it's a requirement. So, I think it's based off of the growth rate of the church. I think when the church started, he probably wasn't thinking about NDAs, but once he started selling books, and once he started doing tours, and once he started doing X, Y, and Z, and getting into merchandise and movies, you might have an attorney floating around like, hey, it might be best to have an NDA, have your pastor sign NDAs, right? So they don't share your sermons with other pastors, and because your sermons are really your art form as a pastor. And so if you're sharing those sermons with the pastors and bishops who work in your church, you may not want them to share those before you're able to give them. So there could be a number of reasons, right? There's nothing nefarious about mega churches having attorneys and NDAs. I don't think so. Now, what is nefarious is you trying to get them to update them this week. Yeah, that looks suspicious.
Well, the reason I asked that was because whether you're big or whether you're small, you want to protect whatever monies or whatever possible success that you may have, whether you're big or small. So I think the biggest concern, I guess, for me is, when did you start, and why did you start then? You know what I mean? Because it kind of goes hand in hand. Because a lot of people write books all the time, And if you're posting your sermons on YouTube and all of the other things, then you're already giving out your art form for free. So,
okay, but
I guess
again, you got great questions, wrong person, right? There's no way for me to know as to why a pastor would need NDAs. There's no way for me to be able to determine any of Cora's dreams or interpretation. They're great questions, but there's no way for me to be able to objectively answer them. Sister girl?
I was going to say, Ashley, you really should watch the Netflix story of Keep Sweet, because it'll show you how churches get away with a lot of stuff. It'll if you give you more common sense is not a factor in this, and I agree. You're using a lot of common sense, and unfortunately, sense isn't common. A lot of times, when people become really evangelical or engulfed in the doctrine and the rules and regulations within the church.
Ultimately, it's about control.
Yes. So before you guys finish, this is the end of the show. So we have a lot more to go over tomorrow, but I'm gonna let the co-host have the last word. First, let me start with Trey. Trey, any final thoughts? Trey? We might have lost Trey. Bonsai, any final thoughts? You just joined us on stage.
Yes. I was driving, but Jess is completely right. And everybody that can hear us, I think that y'all should watch Keep Sweet.
Your phone's breaking up. Bonsai. Sorry, you guys. Bonsai's phone's breaking up. We'll just wait till she gets to a clearer area. Sister girl, any final thoughts?
I have, oh my Lord. I have final.
Yes.
I have final thoughts, but I guess we're going to have to table it for tomorrow because it's not regarding this. It's regarding your video getting muted.
Which one?
The one I messaged you about.
Oh,
it was muted. It was muted for a minute, and it, like almost immediately after you put it up, and I thought that was kind of crazy because I'm like, was it because it's a big content creator or what?
Could be. Okay, we'll talk about that later. Ashley, any final thoughts?
I don't have any. Thank you.
Okay. Well, thank you, Ashley. And no news on R. Kelly, but I'll dig some up and we'll talk about it tomorrow. She needs to hush. Who, me? Jamila? No news on R. Kelly, but you guys, thank you again for joining the Nosy Bystanders Live. Thank you again for YouTube, and thank you again for everybody in the audience here on Leam. You can catch me every single night at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern, and whatever else the time zones are in between. We don't quite know them. We're not that smart. Tomorrow, more news. I'm looking to drop part 13, but I'm waiting on 2 additional interviews this week. So part 13, please don't stress me out. It's coming. Follow the Nosy Bystanders on Instagram and YouTube. Don't worry, I follow you back. I ain't no fucking heathen. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Did y'all get that? All right, get the hell out of here. I might come back later on tonight, but not with any nosy news. Okay?
And get y'all bonnets. Make sure y'all buy a bonnet.
That's right. Go check out KianaScott.com. Her link is in my link tree. I'm going to be promoting her all week. And tomorrow we may be promoting another business. So if you would like your business promoted here on the Nosy Bystanders live show, please reach out to me on Instagram and Twitter. Okay? We promote you all week until you pay for us to do it again. I'll talk to y'all later, okay? All right, you guys. Bye-bye. Bye. YouTube, as always. Bye-bye.